All right, we're back.
We are.
Number 11. We got 10 in a row.
Yep.
Look at us
I know.
being consistent.
We definitely are. We got to make it work.
Yeah. A lot of things going on,
A lot of
right?
new things.
A lot of big changes to our daily schedules, right? Like our morning routine, day routine, night routine,
Absolutely. I'm exhausted.
mainly because,
We got to wake up so early to take our oldest to pre-K. She just started pre-K.
yeah, which was surprisingly easier than what we expected.
For her, yes.
And you know why? I mean, credit to you. You had her involved in like ballet
Yeah.
and stuff like that early on.
Not just involved in that, but I also I think my group of friends who are moms, we did a good job at making sure that the kids got to know each other before they started school. And to a huge surprise, they ended up being in the same class, which
Yeah.
we did not
You
choose.
never get that, yeah.
Yeah, we didn't choose that. Like that was just random from school. So I think like we kind of made them have like a comfortable setting.
Yeah, when I went to the orientation, I saw Ava with like four girls and they were
Yeah.
just hugging and just super excited,
So
to
yeah, to be there.
that was such a relief.
It really was. I thought she was going to give us like a super hard time while dropping her off, like on the first day, because she's not used to like, she's never been to
Yeah.
daycare or never been taken care of by anybody other than ourselves or my mom. So I figured she probably like, not feel comfortable or cry, but she was fine. She was so excited. She turned around and she said, "All right, mom, bye bye."
That's crazy. And knowing how she is and how she's so scared of everything,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's easier. I mean, and I don't think, I know it's much easier to make friends when you're a kid, right?
Oh my God,
'Cause
100%.
everything's in common, everything's brand new to you.
Yeah.
You, I don't even know what they judge other kids on, but like, as long as you can kind of speak the same
Yeah.
and are into the kind of same things, Disney movies or whatever it is these kids are into, they just like click up and they.
Yeah, but it's not just easier because of that. I think it's easier because they all go to the same place on a routine like every single day or so they're like kind of almost obligated to see each other, right?
Yeah.
Because they're going to go to school, then they go to playground together, and then they have different classes together. So just by default,
Yeah.
right, they get to grow that relationship, because the truth is that friendship does take time, right? It takes like you investing time and putting in effort to see each other. And when
Yeah.
you're an adult, it's completely different. You probably don't work in the same job,
Yeah.
right? You might have different schedules. You might live in different places. So hanging out with your adult friend
Yeah.
is
Unless you have like a thing that you always do, like you go to Pilates or something every Thursday.
Yeah.
And then you make friends. But when you're an adult, like those are your friends really just for that.
yeah. But even that, like, I have a friend I go to the gym with, and we're out of breath.
Yeah, true.
Most of the time at the gym. So like we'll catch a word together, but like it stops there. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, remember blah blah blah, and then you keep on. So
Yeah, and it's definitely harder when you're an adult because, like you said, you go to different places. You don't do the same thing. Like when you're a kid, you could probably play, go to school, learn, practice a sport, all with the same group of people.
yeah,
When you're adult, that's different. And also, when you're an adult, like you have your people already, kind of.
yeah,
Like everybody kind of has their own people.
their own little crew. Yeah,
Yeah. So even if you make a new friend, they still have their people. You have your people, and sometimes you try to mingle them, and sometimes it doesn't work
yeah.
out.
Sometimes that doesn't work. Sometimes you love your circle of friends because of when you met them, right? You loved them when they were X age, whatever that age is, and then you just, like, I guess, made a commitment to your friendship to always kind of like be friends. But I think as you grow, people change, right? And I think that when you have good friends, you tend to just love them for who they are, no matter who they are, right?
Yeah.
But when you're older, and you are a different person, and you're introduced to someone new, and that person doesn't share the same core values you do, or you kind of have the choice of like, do I want to hang with this person or not? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't really have a memory of them or something like that. So
Yeah.
yeah, so with kids it's completely different because their worries and their like the things that they like put importance on is just so small, right? Like
Yeah.
they're not really worried about much. They're worried about who's gonna have fun and who won the game, and it's just very casual.
Yeah.
They don't really have, a a goal in mind of something they've got to do and they're time crunched like us or anything like that.
Yeah, it's funny because when you have kids, you want them to have friends and have a social life, and meanwhile, yours takes a massive hit. Like
Yeah.
yours goes down the drain. You don't do anything. Everything's about the kids, and it's important to like kind of keep your social life going.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm a big proponent of like, you know, date nights, but also like friend nights, you know,
Yeah.
friend trips. I know you recently went to a concert.
I did, and it was so good. I went with one of my friends, Vicky, and we had a blast. And I'm so glad we did it. And it was super last minute. It's just important to carve out time for yourselves because my friend and I were moms, obviously, of the toddlers who are the same age. But no, I know that we're different when we're together with the kids versus when we're by ourselves. We
Yeah.
kind of like
Let
let
loose.
loose and we're free. And we after the concert was over, it started to pour and we ran in the rain.
Yeah.
You see, I don't think I would have done that with the kids, or I would have been like, oh my God, they're gonna get sick, or they're gonna slip. But we felt like we were in like our 20s again.
Didn't you like steal seats or
Oh my
something?
I
And
totally
like you
did not
almost
steal
got
them.
how that happened? How do you even get?
We didn't steal seats. You can't steal seats.
You could steal seats. I used to steal seats in like baseball games. I would jump down to like the lower
I
seats.
mean, what were you, 10? Like, we're
True.
adults.
True.
No, we got concert tickets like super late, right? So
Where were the seats?
they were so high up. It was ridiculous. But that's what was left.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens when you do things last minute. And there was someone selling tickets, and the tickets never sold, but they, kind of dished out their seats.
Hold on, wait, what? They dished out their seats? What do you mean they dished out their seats?
They let everyone know what the seats were.
Oh, they posted them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What? I'm trying to follow.
Anyways, yeah. And then no one sat there. So we're like, okay, those tickets are going to go to waste.
Okay, so I'll make sure I'm following.
Okay.
So somebody posted tickets
Yeah.
trying to sell them.
Yeah.
You saw the tickets, and since you were there, you went and just sat in the seats.
Actually,
It's genius. It's
we actually asked first,
Sketchy.
hey, did you sell the seats?
wow.
And the person said no. So we're like, okay, well, we're out.
So you were at the spot already. You were texting
Yeah.
them and say, "Did you sell these?" They know they're still available.
Yeah.
You're like, "Cool,
Thanks. I mean, they already paid for it.
bravo,
Yeah.
bravo."
No, we
That's
had a blast. It was so fun.
And so I take it the person never sold the tickets.
He didn't, but apparently he might have given them to somebody who was already there.
Okay.
Right? But that person or those people showed up like super late. So we were able to like go into other seats that were
Yeah.
on the side.
What about the people around? Were they part of, or was it just?
No, they don't. I don't know. I don't know the person. I don't personally
Yeah.
know that person, so I don't know who was around.
Very clever.
Yeah. Very, very childish, right?
But you know what? That's what sometimes makes you feel.
Yeah,
You know?
it makes you feel alive. Like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm not supposed to be here.
And you came back super, super like just.
Like, whatever. Yeah.
No, you came back super like you had a great time.
Yeah, I did. But what I mean by whatever, I mean I came back like so like free. Like I was
Yeah.
I was excited.
Yeah, see, that works out for me because then you go have a good time. You're not so much, wound up and stressed out about the kids. That's important.
Yeah, it is. It's important for both of us.
Yeah. So this past weekend, I went to DR with my dad and my brother, and it was the first time we've ever traveled by ourselves together, which was crazy because the last time we went to DR, Dominican Republic, together, I was probably like 8. I'm 38. It was actually 30 years ago because my brother sent me a photo from me, my dad, and him in DR 30 years ago.
You guys should have remade the photo.
I know, but it was in the water and we didn't get in the water.
Oh.
And it's me on my dad's like neck, like hanging on, like we're in the
Yeah.
water. I'm hanging on his neck and my brother's like doing like this. And my brother wanted to remake the video and we went to the beach, but we just didn't get in the water.
Let me remake the photo.
What did I say?
Video.
Yeah, we want to remake the photo, but we went to the beach. I just wasn't trying to do all
Yeah.
that. But that would have been, who would have taken the picture? It's just us three.
I mean, you could have asked a stranger. I would have been like,
Yeah.
excuse me.
Super fun trip though. I'll tell you what though, driving in Dominican Republic, especially like Bani and Matanza and all those small towns, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's probably the most dangerous thing I
I
ever
know. I
did.
was very worried.
Yeah, and my brother recorded it, so I'll try to post some of those videos of
Um,
like me driving.
I'm
And
glad you didn't send them to me.
people don't they don't respect lanes. It's constantly moving between lanes. If there's a gap, somebody's gonna take it. Um, but yeah, overall, it was an amazing trip. Got to bond with my dad and my brother. The other cool thing about the trip that I noticed was it had this. Since we went to small towns, they still had the small town vibe and feel, and that was so dope. Like we went to a random neighborhood, a beach town, and we were looking for his sister, his older sister. My
Hmm.
dad's 70, I don't know, two, three, I don't know how old he's in the 70s. His older sister got to be like 80 something, and he had no GPS. He had no address. I mean, we had GPS, but he had no address. And he would just be like, lower the window. And we'll just pull up to a random person walking on the street, like, hey, where does so and so live? And they'll say, yo, go down 3 blocks and make a left. And it's next to the pink house with the yellow flowers. And
Oh
sure
my
enough,
God.
we did that like a dozen times. And that was like crazy. So yeah, I mean, that was a great trip, and like it kind of puts battery back in your pack, right? Because you kind of refreshed and re-energized.
Yeah.
And I love my kids, and I miss my kids, but it's good to kind of step away for a little bit
Yeah, of
and come back.
course. And get out of the routine.
Yeah,
Yeah, routine kills. Like, at least it kills me. Like sometimes, even if I'm busy, I'll just stop in the middle of the day and say, you know what? I need to go to like a store. I need to
yeah.
like change my
Well,
view.
well, now I understand why like my dad would go get milk like at 8 o'clock at night. I'm like, Dad, just go tomorrow. No, no, it's good. I'll
No,
go
no,
now.
I'll go
Yeah, I'll
now.
go. I'll go to the
I mean,
store.
you know what? You do that sometimes.
I
So
do.
yeah,
I do. But
you're like, you know
sometimes,
what? You want me to go pick up, and I'm like, what is? Why does he want to go pick up something up right
well,
now?
the thing is that our kids drink milk
Yeah, they do,
like
but
savages.
they do.
So if they don't have it, they're not sleepy.
Yeah, we should invest in a cow.
Yeah. Who's gonna milk the cow?
Me
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
milking it right now.
Ha 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 ha. You're so funny. Why don't you just steal one?
Oh, you got a bowl of jokes. Okay. Yeah, no, it's definitely good that you went out there with your dad and your brother because, for one, like, it's not just you need time by yourself away from the kids and, out of the routine, but also spending time with your dad and your brother. Like, that's tough to do it alone because
Yeah.
everybody has a
We never do it.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and everyone has like responsibilities. So that's awesome. I wonder if your dad saw like old friends.
Yeah, no, I actually did. And to your point before, you're right, because just like friends have their own people, like my dad has essentially his own family, right? He has his wife and my little brother, and then my brother has his wife and stepkids, and then we have our own little unit. So yeah, we even said it when we were there that this situation was probably never going to happen again.
Yeah.
But we should. I mean, it's a shame that it took 30 years for us to do it. But to the point, if he saw any of his friends, this is the crazy thing that um, he randomly asked. We went to a random house again that we knew somebody, and we got there by direction of somebody else. And my dad asked, "Hey, whatever happened to Victor?" He's like, "Oh yeah, Victor lives down the street. Um, Make a U-turn. There's a big mango tree, and then it's the last house on the left." And in my head, I'm like, oh, I'm lost. I don't got this.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, let's go see him. I gotta go see him. So we go there, and the dude is there, and my dad has no shame. Like we'll get out the car, he'll just open the door, he'll knock and like walk into people's houses.
Oh my God.
And sure enough, here comes Victor. Victor came out, saw my dad, lost his mind. Right, he was probably in his 70s, and I have a picture of that as well.
Yeah, and he obviously had no idea your dad was even in town. He
Of
would have
course
never in a
not.
million years thought he was
Yeah.
gonna walk up into his living
He
room.
was like, Miguelito, oh my God. And what's crazy is that my dad and him used to practice English together. Like they were the only two kids in the neighborhood that spoke English. So they used to practice it and say the sky is blue and the grass is green. And they were like reminiscing, like they were just catching up from a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And that was awesome to see, man. Like I mean, I'm sure he would have wanted to see him more often throughout the years, because who
Yeah.
knows when's the last time you saw him. But yeah, connected with him and a few others.
Yeah, but you see how difficult it is
Yeah.
to keep in touch even with your friends. I mean, in this case, it's a little bit different. Your dad used
Yeah,
to
he
live
left
in
the
a different
country.
country.
Yeah,
But same, kind of same vibe, same thing. Like you move to a different city or you move further away from each other.
yeah,
And it's hard to keep that going, like especially when you have your own routine, your own family, your own responsibilities.
yeah. I think that's why it's important for every friend group needs to have at least one person who's like constantly organizing everything, because most people don't organize, and it's not even that they don't want to do anything or participate, it's just they're just not
Yeah.
organizers. So I know in my friend group we have a couple, but one specifically who's like constantly, okay, we're doing poker night, we're gonna rent a boat, we're gonna take a trip here, and that's fantastic.
I know. I wonder when that friend has kids if that's going to change.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because
Maybe so. Still, I don't know. That's a good question because
normally, like in the past, I been that organized friend to be like, "Hey, we're gonna," but I'm over here organizing, Christmas and photo
yeah,
shoots and Disney, and so like there's limited time. So I wonder.
yeah, that's true because. But here's the thing: before any of us had kids, he was the one pretty much planning. Also, like that's in his DNA. So maybe when he does have kids, I know you're right because
I
kids just
think
take
it just
it just takes
changes.
over. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it changes, especially if you have kids that's a different sex than your closest friends.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because if you like, if you're a bunch of girl dads, then we're gonna go out to do something, and we might go to something that's more like driven for
Princess.
girls.
Yeah,
Yeah. Versus if your best friends have boys, I mean, you're still gonna hang out. You're not gonna hang out, but it's different. The interests are different,
yeah.
and the way they behave is different, and
No, I think the friend group you have now is primarily because we have girls
yeah.
because of ballet,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
then
we are a friend group because of the kids. It's not
yeah,
like, I mean, and we all have our own actual friend groups outside of that. It's just we're like the moms from
yeah,
that from ballet and school.
yeah. What do you think would happen if we had a boy? Obviously, there'd be no ballet. You probably
I mean,
would.
there'll definitely be ballet, just not for the boy.
Well, I'm saying we didn't have girls.
Or if we just had boys, I probably have would have met different moms.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
Yeah, and I would be in different sports.
Yeah, and kids truly change your life.
Everything.
Like who you hang out with, how you hang out with them, how often you hang out with them.
Yeah, they change everything. And then it also gets you to think like, I don't know, when you think about how certain people treat you or the things that they do to you, you start to think about like, well, I don't want somebody to treat my kid like that, right?
Yeah.
So you're even a little more like careful of the people you keep around because of that.
Do you judge people based on how they acknowledge or treat your kids?
100%.
So not necessarily they treat them bad. They just, I guess, don't check up on them. Don't
100%.
because I know when I didn't have a kid, my cousin had a kid before me, and he said we were talking about one of his old friends, and he was like, "Yeah, he doesn't even check up on my son." And I know I was saying like, "Who cares?" In my head, I was like, "Who cares?" Like he doesn't know your son that much. Like you're his friend. And he said, "No, you'll see when you have a kid that how people, um, what value they put on your kids or what effort they put towards your kids is gonna affect you and how you see them."
Yeah. I think yes, 100%. But also, the friends I have that don't have children, that don't necessarily show up the way I wish they would, I cut them some slack because
They don't know.
they don't know. They don't know any better.
Yeah, like me, I
But
didn't
then the
know.
friends that have kids, right? That don't show up for your kids or don't show you the effort that you'd wish they did. Those are the ones that, I mean, we shouldn't judge anybody, but those are the ones I kind of judge because everyone's in their own world and everyone has their own
Yeah, life.
yeah, their own life. But those are the ones that I like kind of look at sideways, like, really?
Yeah, because they know better.
Yeah.
And if they're not making the effort, it's just that
It's just because they don't.
they're
They
not a
don't. Yeah,
priority.
you are not a priority in their life. So.
Yeah, because if you have kids, you know how much of a priority they are for you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you really care about somebody's friendship, you're gonna make their kid a priority as well.
100%. Because you're gonna realize that whatever's important to the friend that you love has to be important to you because it's gonna affect your friend.
Yeah, I had a client that me and him got into like a nasty fight, like a really bad fight via text, and he was like, man, he went off, right? Big client too, and we still had to work together because we were working on a deal, massive deal on Miami Beach to sell a property, a commercial property, a multifamily property, and it made it awkward because we had to have weekly Zoom calls about, because we were going to do an auction on the property, and we had to do weekly calls. And I had a partner that I brought in on the deal to kind of like quarterback it, because it was already awkward with the client. And we'll be on the Zoom, and he wouldn't really talk too much. I definitely wouldn't talk. Um, and it was just awkward, right? I couldn't even, have a conversation with him. I would text him, he wouldn't respond. So one time we got into a Zoom, and it was just me, my partner, and the client. And the client had his daughter there. Like, she was probably like 12 or 13. And she was like sitting on his lap, and she was like messing with her dad. And like, you saw him in a different light a little bit. And my partner, who also has kids, started like via Zoom, started joking with the kid and like making her laugh. And my client, who was like this big bad wolf, was like, man, you're a great guy. Like, telling him that, like, won him over completely. Like, oh man, you're the best. And just making her laugh and just joking on the dad. And in that moment, I'm like, oh, yeah, the guy's human. Even though he's a
Yeah.
DICK, he's human. And you paid attention to something that he values probably more than his business deals. And it like completely took his guard down.
Yeah, 100%.
So, I mean, yeah, if the way to somebody's heart is through their kids.
That's a good that was a good story as an example, because it's true.
Thank you for pointing out that it was a story.
Yeah, no, for real, it does. It does 100% like affect your mood, how you feel about somebody, depending on how they value or treat your children.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to like have a little bit more love for the people who do value my child,
Yeah.
or make them laugh, or
Bias.
remember them. And kids are not just, are they not, we sometimes we underestimate their intelligence, because you're like, oh, they're just children.
Yeah.
But yeah, children pick up on vibes. Like, they're not, if you pretend to like a kid, or pretend to like crack a joke, they kind of,
Not gonna fly.
yeah, it's not.
Our kid, there's certain people that she just doesn't vibe with, and sometimes it's just she just hasn't had a chance to get to know them.
Yeah.
But there's some that she just like, you can't even show her a picture of the
Yeah,
person.
because
And
it's crazy.
Yeah, and I would love to tune into that feeling. Like, what are they tuned into that they just don't like the person?
I think they're just so pure, right? That like they haven't been
Corrupted.
correct.
So, and they don't have any biases.
They're
They're not racist, right? They're not
Yeah.
inherently racist or biased towards any kind of person. Yeah.
They also haven't had like a lot of experiences to kind of detour like their actual gut, because you know how sometimes you experience something and then you're like, oh, last time I felt this way, I might have been wrong.
Yeah.
In this case, it's like they feel that way, but they don't know if they're wrong or not. They just feel that way, and usually, for the most part, your gut is usually right.
Yeah. And they don't have bad intentions.
They don't.
Or negative intentions. Because, like, if, let's say, you're a female or whatever, and you see another female that's attractive, you might be like, oh, like, you feel like a little competition with her and not like her.
I mean, those women suck.
I know. Or a guy, right? There's a guy who's jacked or whatever. I mean, guys don't really feel that. They feel it more about money and financial status.
Yeah.
So he sees a guy who's very flashy and rocking all kinds of expensive watches and necklaces, and a guy might be like, oh, that guy's an asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
Not all guys like that, but kids don't have that, is my point.
Yeah, because they don't understand what the value of any of those things are anyway. So
Yeah. What kids care most about is time
yeah.
and attention. So yeah, when they don't like somebody or they gravitate towards somebody, that always amazes me.
Yeah.
Because like, what is it that they see? And typically when they gravitate towards somebody, you can kind of tell why.
Yeah.
It's just
course.
when they are like completely scared of somebody, you don't really know why.
I mean, sometimes I do.
Sometimes you do. Sometimes
I'm like, you know what, girl? Don't say hi to him.
You know,
I don't like him either.
Me too, right?
I have to be an adult, and I'm like, have to be mature, but you don't, girl. It's okay.
She could tell him exactly, or her, exactly how you feel. Or
Yeah.
they feel, and if it makes them awkward.
Yeah, too bad. So sad. Sometimes I wish we would be like that as adults too. Like, you know what? I'm not gonna care about your feelings right now. This is how I feel.
That's probably the secret to life, right? Is just act like a child in certain
Yeah.
sense. Like not be on your phone, go play, go to the beach, have a good time, not worry about anything, and just enjoy life. That's how kids live their
But
life.
then that's the point where like another adult calls you, like, you're so unaware. How could you say that? That makes somebody feel X, Y, and Z. Well, I don't know. I said the truth. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, no, we could learn a lot from kids.
Yeah,
That's
we really
for sure.
could.
I know our kids. I'm I mean, they amaze me every single day.
You know, I was just saying this earlier today in our mom group chat. You know, Ava, I swear, she was like, God, obviously Arya too, but Arya's not there yet, right? Arya's not in that stage of communication yet. And Ava says things sometimes, and I'm like, God sent me her because obviously we know that. But she'll be like, oh, you know, mom, you shouldn't say that. You need to be kind.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is my kid.
Didn't that happen in school with her, where like some kid hit her
Yeah.
by accident, and you
Yeah.
were like
So
break his jaw,
I
and she was
didn't
like,
say,
"No, mom, he's a good kid."
I didn't say to break
What
his
did you
jaw.
say?
I said, well, she said, oh, so and so hit me. And we have, I have specifically instructed her that no one's allowed to put hands on anybody. She shouldn't put hands on nobody, and nobody should put their hands on her. However, if somebody does put hands on her, she's instructed to put her hands on them right
Yeah, put
back.
the pow pow on them.
Yeah. So I've told her before, if somebody hits you purposely, you don't stop until you have them on the ground.
Oof.
Yeah.
Well, she's in jujitsu,
Yeah,
so
I know, but here's the reason why. It's not just about that kid, right? It's about the other kids watching. I need everyone to understand that
she's
this
not
is
the
what
one.
happens. Yeah.
She's not the
This is what
one.
happens when you put your hands on my kid. And you know, and that the reason why I'm doing it is not because I think my kid is bigger or better than anybody. It's just I want to avoid bullying at every stage of her life.
Yeah.
And I know I went to school and I know that what it takes is not being mean, not being the bully, right? What it takes is being a kind, good human being, but also knowing how to draw a boundary.
Yeah.
And that's a boundary you don't cross. You don't put your hands on people. So yeah, there was a little kid in her class that he apparently was stretching and he hit her in the face.
Yeah. Wish I catch that little kid outside. I saw
And
him
so
at the orientation. He looked
he's
cute
a
little
cute
kid. Yeah,
kid.
cute little
He's a
kid.
cute kid. They're little kids, man. But she said it. But here's the thing: she didn't just tell me that at that day. Like 2 days before that, she had been telling me that he was being mean to her in the playground. And when she told me he was being mean to her, I'm like, okay, how could he possibly be mean? Probably didn't want to play with her, or maybe he stuck out his tongue at her.
Yeah.
Like that's kid stuff. But then when she followed up with like he hit me in the face,
Yeah.
oh hell no.
But that was an accident, no?
It was an accident because I asked the teacher, and the teacher made, you know, she reassured me that if it wasn't an accident, she would have made me aware, and his parents as well. But I just, you know, I explained to Ava, like, accidents happen, but they don't happen twice,
True.
right? So just make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah. Is it harder to lose a friend, not by death, but like not be friends with somebody anymore? Is it harder when you're a kid or when you're an adult?
It's harder when you don't understand the value you bring to that friendship. And I think that as a kid, you don't understand that. So you probably might not lose friends as a kid. You usually lose them later in life when you understand the value that you bring to that friendship, whether that be loyalty, whether it be support. And then when you do lose those friends, it's harder on both parties, right? On the person who lost you and the person you lost.
Yeah.
So I don't think a kid, like I don't necessarily think kids take serious, like, boo, I'm not your friend anymore. Like they'll
Yeah,
still like,
usually they stop being friends when like they move away or
yeah,
something.
it's just
Yeah, it's true.
space is created. They don't really like have a huge falling out, like never gonna be friends with you again, unless like you're in your teen years, like when you're
Yeah.
a teenager and something drastic happens.
Yeah, they actually they have little arguments, micro arguments. Like
Yeah.
I'm not your friend anymore, and that lasts like 20 minutes.
Yeah, and then they get over it.
Yeah. No, when you're adult, it's different because you have so much time and experience and memories vested with somebody, and then something either drastic has to happen or it chips away slowly over time, which is kind of worse because then the friendship kind of just erodes.
Yeah.
And that, you know, sometimes sucks because you don't want to lose a friendship, but it's just circumstances.
But sometimes it's just even better to not have that around because
True.
it might be causing, you know, insignificant drama or insignificant ways of how they make you feel. Like, just, what do you want
Isn't that crazy
around
though?
for?
Like you go from being friends with somebody and you're enjoying each other's company to the point where you're like,
I'm good off
I
you.
can't stand this person. Like just thinking about how that happens is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I used to read this and then like I've confirmed it. The most dangerous person, and I would say woman, The most dangerous woman on this earth is a woman who can walk away from anybody and it not faze her. Because it's those women who want to constantly be accepted or want to constantly like impress someone, or it's those who really like live like unhappy. But if you have not just the strength but the confidence to be like, hey, that no longer serves me and I'm out, you're a dangerous piece of work. You're a
Okay.
dangerous piece of work, because then you start to make people feel like, hey, I can't, there's certain things I can't do to that person because I might just lose their presence, their friendship. I might just lose just being around them, period. And
Yeah.
if that's of any value to you, which it should be, right? Then, you know, you think twice about the things you do or say.
Yeah. Well said.
Yeah, no, at the end of the day, your kids really do decide like who your new friends are.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're like a super involved like parent and you want them to have a good time, you tend to want to do things that they want to do.
Yeah.
And if that consists of, you know, the new friends that they make, then that kind of chooses your adulthood friend
Yeah.
group.
You can't even choose your friends anymore. It's the parents
I
of the
mean, you
kids.
can, but
But
if,
then you choose that your kid's not going to be friends with that kid
yeah,
because you don't like their parents. The parents suck.
I mean, if that's the case, I don't want my kid around that other
What would
kid.
you do if your daughter had a mother who was real sucky, but she loved the daughter?
I would still not want her to hang out with her. And
Yeah,
I'll
you
tell you,
see.
yeah, but I'll tell you why. You like seldomly do you meet a kid who has an awful mother and then they turn out to be this great human, right? That awful person is the one raising that child. So I'm out.
So you're saying the kid is probably going to be awful?
I'm not saying it's going to be awful, but it's probably going to have a lot of traits that mom does, or they're probably not going to be raised properly, or at least not with the same values you have. So no,
Yeah.
if I don't like the parents because of something like you know, substantial, like something real, then no,
What
I
if it's
don't.
just parents that you just don't vibe with? Like
But that's
they're
different.
good people, but you just don't vibe with
I mean,
them.
that's different. I mean, I probably wouldn't be planning vacations with them,
True.
but you know, if they wanted like a park date or whatever,
Yeah.
or the little kid's having a birthday party and and my child's invited, I'd still attend for my kid.
You know what? You mentioned something that's true because when you have kids, you do plan like family trips with other families, and that's important
Yeah,
because that dictates a large portion of your trips
yeah,
or like family vacations to
yeah.
Disney, to other countries, and you got to make sure you gel with the parents also.
Yeah, because if you don't, like, you also don't want to be miserable, and you know, you're creating memories together, so
Yeah.
you want to make sure that like you enjoy yourself and that your kid enjoys themselves too.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think our kids have some cool friends and
Yeah,
have cool parents, so we got lucky.
yeah, yeah. No, we did get lucky. They do have like good friends so far. I mean,
Yeah, she's
they're
been in
only
school
she's
for
only
like
four.
she's been in
It's
school
for
for a
like a week.
week. Yikes! Yeah, and that is pre-K 4,
Yeah,
so it's not even like it's full blown school.
yeah,
Like they're still babies. They're in daycare essentially right now.
yeah. Kind of.
So yeah, the real test to see who our friends are gonna be
It's later on.
is like in 3 or 4 years, and that's when we gotta like
Yeah.
get ready for that.
Yeah, that's why environments are so important, because having them in the right school, surrounded by the right people,
Yeah,
that's just so important.
I know that's why we battled if we were gonna do private or public school, and it wasn't so much about the curriculum; it was more about who the parents are gonna be of the kids.
Yeah, and how
And
that kid is being raised, and what
exactly,
things is that kid going to say around my kid
or
that I'm either going to like or not like.
what things is that kid gonna be exposed to that's gonna expose your kid to it,
Yeah.
and you can somewhat control it a little bit by like setting up their environment by putting them in a school, but you can only do so much.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you try to do the best you can to control the outcome of things. Ultimately, you don't have full control,
Yeah,
but I don't think it's about necessarily like whether you were able to control it or not. It's did you try,
yeah.
right?
And on the positive side, I know it's been all school posts, everybody with their awkward signs and stuff these last couple of weeks. And I saw the mayor of Miami had his son at Berlin,
Yeah.
a all boys school. And I'm like, man, on the other side of it is if you have a kid that goes to that school, you're going to be rubbing shoulders during parent teacher conference with the mayor of Miami,
Yeah.
these business owners. So it's super important. And that's something that, I didn't think we would have to strategize about is our
Yeah.
kids' friends are friends and networks because of their friends. So all that kind of is like new to us, and we're just
Yeah.
kind of just trying to navigate through it.
Yeah, no, we're still learning. We're still trying to navigate through
figuring it out.
because, we don't know if she's going to stay in this school, if we're going to go to another school,
True.
if we're going to be living in another neighborhood.
True.
We don't know yet. So,
Damn kids
I'm
took over our
I'm
life.
curious.
They took over our life.
I'm glad
They
they did.
hijacked it.
I'm glad they did.
I know. Me too.
Or what else would we be doing?
A
At
lot.
Live?
I mean, no. We'll be traveling. We would be in
But we
Ibiza.
did all that.
We would, yeah, but we'll do it again, and we'll
And
do
again,
it.
and
We'll do it at a
again.
higher level. No, I love my kids, but when I see somebody who doesn't have kids and they're like okay, I'm like, you know what? Enjoy.
Yeah.
You're gonna have a good time.
I mean, if you don't want kids, that's fine. But like, if ultimately you do,
yeah, that's different. But if you don't want them and you don't have them, maybe it'll be a lonely life in your 70s and 60s and stuff.
it will be.
But your 30s and 40s gonna be
It'll be
rocking.
lit.
It's gonna be rocking. Oh man, I think we can leave it right there.
Yeah.
All right, cool, man. Well, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. And to the same 10 people who keep watching every single episode, we rock with you. We appreciate you being part of the Couch Crew.
Also, we want to hear from you. Let us know what topics you want us to chat about. We're interested to see, what it is you want to hear.
So till next time, peace.